DreAllDay.com.
All right, so people ask me, Dre, what's better between, if you're going to lift weights and you're going to play basketball, what's better to do first? Should you lift weights first, then hoop, or should you play basketball or practice basketball first and then lift weights? So there's not really which one is better or worse. There's not a right or wrong to it, but I'll give you both sides because I've done both ways before. All right, so first of all, I would say when I was in college, most of the time I would lift weights first and then I would go and do the basketball thing. Because in this way, like, I'll just give you both ways, the pros and cons of both. So if you lift weights first, the pros of that is that when you lift weights, you really don't sweat that much. Even if you lift it, you might sweat a little bit, but you're not going to sweat as much lifting weights as you would playing basketball. So you'll have more energy, because when you sweat, you lose energy. Losing sweat is losing fluid, and if you don't have no fluid in your body, then it's hard to do anything. So lifting weights first, your body can be a little bit, one of the cons of that is that your body will be a little bit sore. Your muscles will be sore whatever you work. So if you work on your legs or you do something with your arms, you might not be able to shoot as well or run as fast or jump as high or move as quickly with your feet at first, like the first few minutes or so when you get on the court, especially if the gym, the weight room and the basketball court is in the exact same building. As soon as you get done lifting, you do some curls or something, the first time you shoot the ball, it might not even get to the rim, right? Because your arms are tired from doing the lifting. So that's one of the cons of it, but that's not really a con, because after a couple minutes, your body will be right back to normal, and then you're able to go and do your thing. So that's if you lift weights first, and then you go do the basketball. Now, the other thing, though, the other side of it is if you do basketball first and then you lift weights, a way of looking at that is something that I tell people all the time to prioritize. If you're talking about training for a sport, whatever sport it is you play, that's the thing you should be doing first. So for not first, but the thing you should be doing more of, that's the thing you should prioritize. So if you got 2 hours of training, I would say you should spend an hour and a half doing your sport and then a half hour doing the other thing. Theoretically, that doesn't mean, that's not the exact minutes and hours. You need to break it down. So don't take that literally. What I'm saying is, if you had to focus on one, you got to focus on the sport you play, because the sport you play is the thing you're training for. So you need to spend more time, put more energy, and prioritize that over the other thing. You could do an hour if you need to, but you need to spend way more time doing your sport than you do doing the things to train for the sport. Because if you're not playing a sport, you can be in great shape, but if you ain't been working on your sport, then what is it worth? So for example, if you're a basketball player, your priority, you're a basketball player and you lift weights, you like to lift weights to get in shape for basketball, cool. But you should be playing basketball more than you're lifting weights. It shouldn't be equal time. You shouldn't be spending, out of a month, you shouldn't be spending the exact same amount of hours playing ball as you do lifting. You should be playing ball more than you're lifting. Even though you can lift, if you want to lift, you shouldn't be spending the exact same amount, because you're not a weightlifter. And the same thing is, if you're a weightlifter, you should be spending more time in the weight room than you spend playing basketball. Because if, weightlifters, some weightlifters like to play ball. They like, that's my cardio, even though playing basketball is not really cardio, because you keep stopping and starting. And there's a lot of standing around in basketball, so it's not really cardio, but that's a different conversation. Your priority needs to be the sport that you play. So if you're an athlete, your training should be prioritized. Everything should fit around the sport. So a basketball player, you figure out how you're going to get your basketball workout in first, and then everything else falls in around that. Your conditioning, your weightlifting, if you do yoga, if you do something else, some other sport, or anything else you like to do to get in shape, everything fits around the main thing. Because if you can't do the main thing no more, then what's all the training for in the first place? The thing with basketball, though, if you're going to do basketball first, is that you're going to lose a whole lot of fluid. And when you sweat a lot, the most important thing is you have to replenish those fluids before you do any other training. You're not going to have the same power. I would also say that if you let's say you do a basketball workout first and then you lift after. I spent a lot of time, I've done that. If you do that, you got to, two things. Number one, you got to put a whole lot of fluid in your body immediately. As soon as you get done on the court, you got to drink like a whole bottle of Gatorade or water, whatever it is you like to drink of your preference. You got to put that back in your body immediately, as soon as you get done off the court, because you got to replenish whatever fluids that you can. And you also probably need to put some type of energy in your body. You need some carbs. Me personally, I like a banana. A banana is a fruit. It's pretty clean eating. It digests very quickly. It's not a processed food, so you're not putting anything bad in your body. It has some sugars in it, and it has a lot of carbs. Apples are another thing that does the exact same thing. So those are things I like to put in my body best If I had to recommend to any of you, those would be the two things. And also because they don't need to be refrigerated. So you can have an apple or a banana in your gym bag or in your car, and it's not going to go bad or nothing because it doesn't need to be cold. So those two things you definitely had to do. Get the fluid and get the energy back in your body, those carbs back in your body as soon as you're done basketball, so you can go and lift. And the same thing if you lift first and you go basketball, you're using energy. It takes energy to lift weights, right? So you need to put some more in your body. Maybe not as much fluid because you're not going to be sweating as much, maybe some, but you also going to need some energy. Maybe an apple, maybe a banana. Those things you can carry with you quickly. They're light, they're easy to package, they don't cost a lot of money. They're good for you anyway. So it's not like it should be an extra expense. Those are the type of things you should be eating anyway. If you want sugars, you can get them from fruits. It's better than getting it from a fruit snack or candy or any type of packaged food, any type of food that comes in a package. But we've discussed that already. So which one is better? Lift weights first or play basketball first? Neither one's better. Do whichever one you want. Try both, but make sure whichever one you do, you put that energy back in your body, and your body will eventually adjust. If you're consistent in whatever type of training you do, your body will eventually catch up to it. And then you'll be able to work on your game, get stronger, improve your skills, and then when it comes time to perform, you'll be able to do your thing. Work on your game. Dre all day. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here, and make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.